Hi, this is Jim Capek, your Chief Operating Officer. Back in May, we held a couple of town hall meetings, and we thought we'd give everybody a chance that couldn't make it to review what we talked about. The club's financial position is very good. Our dues revenue over the last 5 years has increased by $800,000. Our capital and initiation fees have increased by over $500,000. The initiation fee has gone from 4,000 to 11,000. 340 members have joined the club in the last 5 years, and members' equity in that time has grown from 1.9 million to 5.5 million. And a lot of the investments we've done has been in infrastructure. So we got the roads, the parking lot, HVAC, a lot of equipment behind the scenes, and this has created a lot of operational efficiencies and reduced repairs and maintenance. And we're even saving $65,000 every year in utility bills because of the investments that we've made in the club. This year we're projecting no cash operating assessment. And again, this is after a number of years of averaging $1,350 per member. Last year we got that down to $167 per member. And again, it'll be nothing this year. 8 months into the year, I'm happy to say that we're well over $200,000 better than budgeted. Um, we will spend $650,000 this year on capital improvements, and that's out of the restricted fund. And we'll refund over $100,000 to resign certificate holders. And I love the fact that our mortgage is locked in for 9 years at 4%. This renovation will completely gut the pro shop and sand trap, other than the little kitchen there, and build us a more modern, functional golf shop. Inside the current bag room, we'll have mobile golf bag racks, which will give us the extra square footage we needed to expand the pro shop. This is a view of the sand trap looking towards the putting green. We're going to add some extra refrigeration as well as a grab and go area. The entrance of the pro shop gets moved out towards the sand trap, and the existing veranda will stay as is. So in addition to modernizing the pro shop, we'll be installing two Full Swing brand simulator bays with a lounge area just to the right of the new pro shop counter. This view from the golf shop counter. And this will be the view from the comfortable lounge area looking out back towards the entrance of the shop. This is a photograph from another country club that members had sent us, and we use this as our inspiration for what we're trying to create over in our golf shop. Very comfortable area where you can order appetizers and have cocktails into the night. So we will have the pro shop staffed, after hours and be able to accommodate all your needs there. So back in 2017, when we had town hall meetings and we were talking about the clubhouse and master plan, we did indicate at that time that it's very likely we'd need to be doing an irrigation system by 2021. At that same town hall meeting, we indicated that bunker replacement would be likely by 2025. So what changed? What changed is we did make significant upgrades to our irrigation system. Most of all, the replacement of all the older pumps that were in jeopardy of failing and could have been catastrophic for our golf course. We also replaced a lot of the older satellites that we had, or all of the older satellites that we had. And so we have a system now that is not going to fail. It's still outdated. It is not efficient. There's definitely we could do better with our golf course with a new irrigation system. But the reality is, over the next several years, it's going to be pretty much in the same shape that it is right now. And what changed with the bunkers was that the frequency of washouts began to increase. And with each washout, there was more and more contamination, which we'll go into, which exacerbates the problem. And really unchecked, these will get exponentially worse. So if we hold out on waiting on the bunkers, they're going to get worse and worse to the point where they're barely playable and causing a lot of maintenance issues. Our existing bunkers have only one or two places for the bunker rake to drive in and out. This causes the edges to be worn, as you see in the picture. This in and by itself would not be a reason to renovate the bunkers. However, it will be corrected when we do the renovation. So this is what the real problems at our bunkers are. So this is a picture after a couple of inches of rain. You can see there's standing water in the bunker over here. This is mud. This is exposed dirt. So with each time this happens, more and more of this dirt gets washed into the sand. So the sand all by itself, percolates water very well, and it goes down to the gravel layer and drainage of bunkers normally. But once it starts getting contaminated with the dirt and gravel, it no longer drains. And now each time it washes out, you have sand that has been mixed with dirt, and it washes out even more. So all of a sudden, what used to happen with 3 inches of rain starts happening with 1 inch of rain. And it just kind of is a snowball effect that gets worse and worse over time. Here's a greenside bunker after that same rain event. When we get a washout like this, we have to spend over 100 man-hours to restore the bunkers to the condition that they were meant to be in. That's 100 hours that we could be doing so many other things to beautify and manicure our golf course, and it's just spent doing this type of maintenance. And then sometimes after spending those 100 hours, 2 days later, bam, we get hit with another washout and we got another 100 hours. So even within that same week, the rough's not getting cut, fairways aren't getting groomed, and things like that. So the other thing that happens is you can see the gravel in that sand there. When members start playing out of the bunkers and that gravel gets up onto the greens, it can wreak havoc with the lawnmowers. And we try to blow the greens off and that, but sometimes those stones just don't blow off and they hit the mower blades, and then the mowers are not cutting the way they should be, so that impacts the greens as well. Then we have to sharpen the blades even more often than we already do, and we have to replace those blades more often. Our existing bunkers have a drainage system below. However, they have no liner between the gravel and the sand. This was not unusual for the time that they were being built. These were put into play in 2009. The type of liners they had back then were not quite as good. What we're proposing now was just coming along. And so the Better Billy bunker is a system where the same type of drainage that we have, the herringbone drain tile in the bottom of the bunker, is installed. And so our existing drainage will be replaced there. It will be 2 layers of gravel for it to drain. But on top of that, there is then a polymer that is sprayed to the gravel that keeps the gravel in place, yet the water drains through it. So we will not have the issue of dirt and contaminants coming up through the bottom of the bunker. We won't have the issue we already have now with coyotes coming in and digging up the sand and bringing the gravel to the surface. And we'll be able to eliminate the washouts that cause us so much time and money to repair. The polymer that is applied to the gravel that holds all the gravel together essentially lasts forever. And it does have a certain amount of flexibility. So if we have freezing and thawing, there's no chance of it cracking. If you do hit it with the mechanical bunker rake, nothing's going to happen from it. Carries a 10-year warranty, but we certainly expect it to last much more than that. I know managers who have had these installed, again, 10, 11, or 11, 12 years ago, and say that they drain and perform exactly as well as the day that they were put in. Naturally, like anything, you have to maintain it, but it's just a fraction of the cost of maintaining the types of bunkers that we do now. These photos represent a perfect example of why we want to do what we want to do. The bunker on the right is similar to ours, built around the same time with the same type of drainage. The bunker on the left is a Better Billy bunker. So these two bunkers are on the same course. So this picture was taken on the same day after 2 inches of rain. And you can see the difference. One is playable right away. The other is going to need an awful lot of tender love and care. The wall on 15 has been leaning for quite a while, and at some point could collapse. So we wanted to proactively address that before something happened where we needed to be reactive. So in our plan, this wall on the right side here will stay in place. And the leaning retaining wall will be replaced with natural stone. That's not the exact stone, but it'll be a natural stone. And of course, we promise to always have water in the creek. In front and to the right of the green will be a new bent grass apron, very similar to what we have on number 1. We'll expand the fairway with a low-cut bluegrass that Tim Allen is very excited about trying out. Based on the original plan, the existing walk bridge was to be eliminated and players would either use a step-down rock walk path to cross the creek or the rear maintenance bridge, which will be resurfaced. Based on the feedback received from both town hall meetings and from casual conversations with membership, we've decided to include a low-profile walk bridge on the left side of the hole near the property line. That's if you're facing the green from the tee box, and eliminate the step-down stones to cross the creek. Since this was a late addition to the project, the bridge will likely not be done until after the bunker and creek improvements have been done. We estimate the cost of the bridge to be in the $50,000 range, which will need to be confirmed with a formal bid. The assessment will be increased by $50,000 to cover the cost of this improvement, or whatever the final cost of the bridge is, which will likely be around $120 per member that will be billed when we begin construction of the bridge. In addition to the retaining wall, the plan is to also clean up the rest of the creek. All of that white stone along the creek will get removed, and the boulders will line both sides of the creek all the way down to the property line. And the last part of the plan is to finish the stonework around the rest of the lake. This would replace all that white riprap stone that we have there now and beautify the area. In addition, this would give us a place to dump a substantial amount of the spoils that we'll be digging out from the bunkers and not have to pay to have it hauled off site. The golf shop construction will begin immediately after Labor Day, with our crew doing the demolition, which will save significantly on the project. We hope to open that by mid-December. The 15th hole construction will begin beginning of October, be completed around the end of October, and open in the spring of 2022. Keep in mind, we typically have that hole closed in the winter anyway. The bunker construction, and we're going to do 9 holes this year and 9 holes next year. So it will begin November 1st, close 2 holes at a time, and be done in the spring of 2022. And then, of course, the following year, we would go on that same schedule. The boulders on the lake, we would want to be doing concurrent with the bunkers. That'll begin in November also. The cost of these projects will be just over $1.8 million. Plan to finance $1.1 million through member assessments and the remaining $700,000 through our restricted fund over the next 2 years. The assessment will be billed, $2,500 will be billed in October of 2021. If somebody wanted to pay it over a couple months or even 3 months, that would be fine. Otherwise, a member can put down $750 and pay over 18 months at 6%, which would take it to just about $100 a month. Many of you that are on the payment program from the last renovation are paying right around $100 a month, and that's going to go away in January. So if you elected this, it would just kind of replace that. Senior members will be charged $1,500. It's a 40% discount, the same as we did on the last renovation. And then everyone will be billed $120 for the bridge at the time of the construction, or whatever that number ultimately comes in at, if we can do it for a little bit less. Much like the last renovation, we believe that this will add to the value of our club for our existing members, as well as be an attraction for future members. The actual meeting to vote on the proposal will be on July 9th at 6:30. We hope to see you there. If not, we hope that you take advantage of the voting online. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, give me a phone call, or just stop me at the pool, and I'll be happy to address any of your questions to the best of my ability.